To Miss Brittany, Paige, and Jesse Dollemore from John Weaver, Roseman, California. You know, the opposite end of where Washington, D.C. is on the east side. We're on the west side over here. In lovely Antelope Valley, the armpit of Southern California. Anyway, it's 2:14 in the afternoon on a Friday, the 26th of September, 2025. Miss Paige, shall we talk? Mr. Dollemore, shall you listen? Miss Paige, you've always been talking about human rights violations and how the homeless get screwed left and right. You should have been keeping track of Southern California news for the past 20, 25 years. I am a transplant into the Antelope Valley. I'm from the San Fernando Valley, which is like 30 or 40 miles away from the Antelope Valley edge, or maybe roughly about that much anyway. And Los Angeles County and City of Los Angeles and the neighboring uh, areas have been dealing with the homeless populations for decades. I'll be pulling 60 next year, so a lot longer than I've been alive. Antelope Valley have been populated since 1940, since we already had Muroc Airfield turned into Edwards Air Force Base up in the Lancaster area. I do this on some occasions to get you guys a geographic figuring of what we're dealing with out here. So, hope you've got Google Maps ready to go. Yeah, it's important, guys. It's important. This is also going to be on my own channel, The Diary of a Griever Named John Weaver, which is me. Because I am letting people know what's happening. It's already been happening, and I'm late to the game, being a transplant and all. So I just wanted to show you guys what exactly we're dealing with here. I'm just waiting for my computer system to cooperate with me, at least one system. So I'm heading back over to the Antelope Valley, California. You can put that in there. I'll show you Southern California region. But once you put in the Antelope Valley, I want you to see the wedge. See the two mountain ridges, two fault lines connecting up to a central point. Welcome to the Antelope Valley and Apple Valley. Apple Valley to the east, Antelope Valley to the apex. Down below you have Southern California cities, towns, and neighborhoods and everything else down below. Past the San Gabriel mountain ranges and Angeles Forest. And in that small nook of a valley, now Santa Clarita down a little bit further below, is my home. Well, a long time ago, for 38 years. The family transplanted itself over to the Antelope Valley because rent was too high and rooms almost non-existent, including housing. So back in '05, my family moves out here. We moved out to the Palmdale area. Palmdale being the southern portion of the apex. And right above it is the Lancaster area. In between is Plant 42 Air Base, or part of North Edwards Air Force Base. Further north, you have the smaller communities that are part of the Kern County, but Lancaster is the barrier, the upper region of Los Angeles County. Since coming out here, I've been hearing stories, reading stories, talking with people, how much they hate the homeless out here, because they hate the city and county of Los Angeles shoving, what they've been reporting, the homeless population they have down there to Lancaster. Shall we show you the apex. Start up with Palmdale. Kind of narrow your field until you see Lancaster to the north and Palmdale to the south. They almost have the same amount of population if you look at it growth-wise here. The amount of spread that they have, and right between them is the Plant 42. Plant 42 has our aerospace industry. Testing, refurbishing, experimental, and not to mention Edwards Air Force Base, part of it. But Palmdale doesn't have enough facilities to take care of the homeless population, as in not enough food giveaways out here. Consider it middle class to nearly upper class in certain areas. They have some areas that are low income. But for the most part, it doesn't have what it takes to take care of the homeless. Barely take care of themselves. Lancaster is one that the people freak out about because these two are competing cities. Lancaster has a lot of churches, food giveaways in those places, a resource center, but the homeless population, according to the city of Lancaster, is out of control. We have Metrolink train stations. We have service coming from Union Station, Los Angeles, to the northern area of Lancaster, California. In a very congested area that we have them walking in areas that very much upset the city council of Lancaster. The mayor out here that we have, Rex Barris, I don't know if he's serving his last term or not, but he had been on nearly a 20-year rage against the city and county of Los Angeles for transporting the homeless downtown into the city of Lancaster, which a lot of people in the city of Lancaster are saying that we don't want them here. Portions of eastern area of Lancaster consider it low income, and the west end would be considered more so of well-to-do. It's the well-to-do to have more and more issues because the homeless have no other place to go. And we have a train station that's going to be shut down or in discussions of shutting down, and thus curtailing what they claim is the homeless immigration coming from city and county of Los Angeles County, California. It's upset the communities left and right on this one. Palmdale can't deal with it. We have a geographic barrier of sorts, or topography barrier, that homeless people don't cross the desert unless they have to get to different areas to hide and survive. We have the city of Los Angeles. We actually have the county of Los Angeles Sheriff's Department on a constant patrolling, not just in the city, but to the county borders. Let me, well, if you happen to hear any whining in the background, that's my dog. If I happen to put Lancaster in the middle of my Google Maps here, I would see some of the other areas of what they would consider city and county barriers. The city range goes as far as H. We have A all the way down to T, and we have several blocks on that one, plus numerating. They split at the area of Sierra Highway, which runs all the way from Santa Clarita, which is a little above San Fernando Valley, runs its way through the mountain ranges until it gets to the Antelope Valley, goes north and splits off beyond Mojave, a small community well above the community I live in, which is Rosamond, California. I wanted to get you set up regarding the geography before we get into the homeless situation here, just to show you what we're dealing with. And she's muttering up a storm. Sierra Highway is what they call an older and a long time ago they had terms like cross the tracks. You're on the wrong side of the track. You're on the wrong side of the track when it comes down for Sierra Highway. Sierra Highway is the middle ground between the well-to-do and everybody else with the lower income. We have densely populated on the east side of it. We also have the rail going from Union Station all the way up to Lancaster for passenger. But we're also following the same cargo routes that we have that extend well beyond the desert region from north to south. If I can get you to type in Lancaster Sheriff's Department, they'll be located on Sierra Highway and the Boulevard, they call it, or Lancaster Boulevard anyway. I am just getting it narrowed so I can show you some things in this place that we have. You narrow it down a little bit, you'll see how densely packed Lancaster is. Certain areas. Some areas actually do look like they're low income, but their rents are very high. Especially when they expand westward. But everything else right in the middle of Lancaster, oh boy. So, between the boulevard and I is the central corridor where the homeless usually hang out. Because we do have a resource center for the homeless, and we have a few food giveaways in this area, but we also have the representation of the County of Los Angeles being county facilities in this area. And I will show you portions of this place of how I dealt with being homeless, being hungry, and other things that we had to deal with. But I wanted to show you the train station. Metrolink station that we have is corner of Lancaster Boulevard and Sierra Highway, if you can get over there. If not, just look for the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. It's catty corner from it. So once you have that, it's on the east, southeast area. But this is where the homeless are wandering all over the place. We have county buildings over here that, according to our bylaws of the County of Los Angeles, that the homeless cannot be disturbed certain times. During the daytimes, during normal operations, they can be moved around. But at night, it's still places that they can sleep for a time before lights go, before we get sunrise. A little above Lancaster Boulevard, I said before, was one of those resources. Grace Resource Center. They don't have housing over there, but they can serve food and other information, and not to mention act as a postal hub for the homeless in the entire LA County. I'm not quite sure about Kern County or Palmdale, City of Palmdale, though. But it's in this area that the homeless and also the low income try to get as much food assistance that they can. They want to shut down, the city of Lancaster wants to shut down the rail station that we have, the passenger rail station in this area. And it's not just trying to keep the homeless from coming back from the city and county of Los Angeles power area into our territory. We also have people commuting from city of Lancaster to different areas of Antelope Valley, but also into deeper Los Angeles. I'm going to say that one because I'm going to show you Union Station and see how it come back to the city of Los Angeles. And if you've actually seen it, I'm going to refresh your memory. So I'm widening the shot until I see the apex of the Antelope Valley. Until I get to the tip of it. But I'm going to stop right there temporarily, okay? Now, if you would imagine a line splitting, going west to east at the apex of the mountain ranges. That would be Avenue D and 138, Highway 138, that we have stretching from Sierra Highway all the way to the apex. And this is the trucker's route to bypass things happening so they can get over to the Grapevine or get up to Tehachapi and get through into the Central Valley so they can continue their way. Or their trucking adventures go further east. Now, I did say about the A through T. No, A, B, C, D. You want to get that kind of thing? Okay. Avenue A is the borderline between Kern County and Los Angeles County. LA County only goes so far up to at least H. If they're lucky, maybe G or F. But they don't go further than that unless they have to. And it's wide area that we have over here that the homeless use for the rest of the living out here. They have a hell of a way of walking towards food giveaways to make them survive out here. It's very vast out here in the Antelope Valley. And show you as I widen the shot even further to make the arrow look a little smaller, or actually smaller. And you would see the nightmare that everybody in the Antelope Valley has been dealing with. The seat of power, city and county of Los Angeles, all wrapped up in 3 or 4 major blocks. But in this area is the Union Station. Somewhere out there. Hello. Something's ringing my bell. Give me a minute. Sorry about the breaks of consciousness over here, Toad. I'm dealing with my dog who still wants attention at this point over here. Her being a senior citizen fuss budget. 20-year-old who's worse than Donald Trump being a whiner. But she's my dog. And I'm just trying to keep an eye on my mutt. Okay, so you see how compact everything else is in the city of Los Angeles? It's also part of county of Los Angeles, and it spreads out like crazy. If I happen to show you what Union Station looks like, she's going to be fussing. She's going to be fussing. If I happen to show you what Union Station looks like right by city of Los Angeles, you know what kind of population density we're dealing with. Even in this area, we have Skid Row and other densely areas where the homeless people usually mingle. Right by soup kitchens, food giveaways, and maybe if there's a bed available somewhere in this area. And what they've been arguing about is the things happening right by the Union Station where City of Lancaster is usually complaining about, because this is the gateway to getting over to our territory out here. Union Station, right by the Hollywood Freeway. Covered areas where the trains would come in and bring people to and from. Yeah, she's fussing. I used to live in the San Fernando Valley before I moved out. I did tell you about that, 38 years. So, above that, a little blob that looks like a brain. San Fernando Valley. I always considered it a bowl, not looking like a brain. But this territory that I lived in for most of my life, I never knew that we actually had a homeless population issue. I always thought it was the city of Los Angeles having any issues. Maybe Hollywood, maybe West Hollywood, maybe a few other communities down below us. But I never realized that the San Fernando Valley also had it, but I was oblivious to it. Growing up, I didn't expect that we may have had about 10,000 people floating around the entire area or making homeless camps left and right, using the canyons that we have for campsites for them. It just never occurred to me until I got out here in the desert. Above that, you have Santa Clarita and Valencia, and then through that is the 14 freeway. And it also follows almost the Metrolink track to get into the Antelope Valley. And during the canyon areas, the homeless people are not there because there's no resources for them there. Why should it be? Valencia and Santa Clarita are like the well-to-do hippie. Money, 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 money. But you get out here in the region and everything else is spread out like crazy. Now, show you home. Type in the search engine, Rosamond, California. That's my dinner fixing right now. You'll see this blob of grease called a town. It's about 10 to 15K population. Maybe more. Spread out laterally. And again, about the disparity that we have regarding financial. The other side of the town, other side of the tracks, well, other side of the freeway at this point. This town had been here since Muroc. Back in the 40s. Used to be an area for military personnel to live out here in trailer homes, which we still have. We still have them. But then, when the base got expanded upon, they needed more and more housing. As much as I heard from some of the stories from other older folks, probably passed on or moved out. So we've had housing and we had a freeway extending all the way through the Antelope Valley, all the way to different areas. This is the southern edge of Kern County, California. There's differences between LA and Kern. Yeah, how's your nausea level when it comes down for Trump? This is Trump land. So, on the east side of it, you have housing that's been there for about 30, 40 years for low income, but for moderate middle income. And over the past 10, 15, there had been apartment complexes been built for low income. Such as one I'm living here in a rat infested, that's not a rat infested, but roach infested actually. So, if you bring up the 14 freeway in the middle of your screen, kind of narrow the shot when you see the town of Rosamond. Let's look at the population density that we have here. Most of the newer housing is on the west side, where we have most of our retail resources. We have no homeless resources at all. We have food giveaways in churches, but that's about it. As for housing, pick an area that you can camp in. We have a lot of land. We have solar panels left and right over here. We depend upon a county system that gets transportation buses from Mojave, City of Bakersfield, funnels it through Rosamond, and stops in the city of Lancaster, right at the bus station area. And there are people that use it 5 o'clock in the morning, the beginning of the start, and then on the way. Some of those people actually do take trains and try to get down to downtown or whatever they're going to be stopping at, probably in San Fernando Valley. But I wanted to show you my home, and unless you guys already forgot about it a long time ago, you guys get too many people, way too many people. But this is my home. We have no homeless situation. We have homeless situations. We have maybe about 10, 20 living in sporadic areas that are being served by the churches out here. Give me a second. I gotta take care of something real fast. Do apologize.